Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Steel Roses podcast. This podcast was created for women by women. Um, you know, this episode is very special because it actually marks the completion of season one of Steel Roses podcast. Um, the the kind of emotions that brings up in me is it's interesting because this this whole season. We launched in April. So from April through December, it's been a very, very interesting journey, to say the least, because it has taken a lot of willpower in some instances to keep the train moving along. Um, when Melissa and I started recording in April, um, it was almost like a, well, let's see what happens here kind of thing, and let's see what we can do with this. Um, and it just became so much more. And while it is still a podcast, the dream now has shifted a little bit more so too. And it's not just a podcast to me. It is something that to me, Still Roses is a movement. Still Roses movement will be empowering women to be able to take, more of a, this is going to sound strange, but more of a leadership role in their own lives where they are making decisions based on how they really feel about things. And it's also going to be um, getting materials and resources in the hands of all of you that you really need and things that will help elevate your life. Um, Season one was really a lot of discovery for myself and for Melissa. And I'll speak for her because she's not with me right now for this particular recording, but it's a journey, and embarking on something new and trying to make it work in our schedules was very hectic, and even to this day, it's hectic. It takes a lot. I just had to make the rounds around my family and tell everybody I was going to go and record. Please don't barge in. It's not a guarantee. They will most likely. Um, but it's been a really interesting journey. We had so many great guests for season one, and I cannot express enough how grateful I was for all of our guests coming onto the show. Um, Majority of the guests I had met through a course that I took called Abundance Ever After with Kathy Heller. But then there was I had Claire, Money Maven Claire on, and she was somebody that I reached out to on Instagram and said, "Hey, like your content looks really awesome, and I know you're your own boss, and I know you're doing something really interesting here. Like, let's hear it. Let me hear your story." Um, and it's interesting how that sort of sparked these little light bulb moments throughout season one for me, where I would start to be like, gosh, I wonder if this is stale, or I wonder if these episodes are resonating with anyone. And then I would get these little light bulb moments of like, oh, well, why don't you just try this? And it's really helped to, make the podcast what it is. Season two will be launching in January, first week of January. I'm so excited for it because it really is going to be, I think you're going to love the guests that that are coming forward. I've been working very hard on cultivating a really, really great guest list of various voices. Um, the goal is to elevate women's voices, and season one did that 100%. Like season one was, again, I cannot thank these guests enough for really making season one as successful as it was. And season two is going to be the same, if not more, because these women that are coming forward that I've reached out to that want to be involved, everybody's so excited about the goal here. And it's really truly just to connect all of us and to elevate our voices. Um, so I wanted to take a minute here too, and to talk about a couple things. So first and foremost, I do want to say, like, again, huge, huge thank you to all of the guests that came on for season one. And I do want to give them a little bit of a shout out. So I'm actually pulling up my list here. Um, so we had my most recent guest was in October, and it was with Stephanie from the Glow Big podcast. Um, she was just incredible to record with. She was very just had this light about her, and her podcast is phenomenal. Please, definitely take a listen to her. We had Money Maven Claire, where she was discussing affiliate marketing and how she saw affiliate marketing years ago and was like, I think this is something, let me get into it. And she is just running her own business and just making money. And she is not beholden to a 9 to 5 or an office or having to answer to anybody. She just runs her own thing. Strong recommend. Look up that episode, and even reach out to her on Instagram, Money Maven Claire. She's on TikTok, Instagram, she's everywhere. Reach out to her if you're interested in that. Um, and then we had Brooke. Brooke and I actually, Brooke is a coach. But her and I actually have become friends, which is pretty phenomenal. And anytime we connect with each other, it like sparks fly, and we both get so motivated and so excited to do our things. Brooke is actually going to be coming back on for season 2 as well, because she is launching her podcast in January as well. So I am incredibly proud of her and so excited for her as well. Um, then we had my friend Kate come on, who talked about being a twin mother and also living through and surviving postpartum depression, which she shared her story with us, and it was just so impactful. And it just really was very raw and real. And, I strongly recommend that episode as well. So that one is twin moms and living through postpartum depression. Um, and then we had Sasha come on as well. Now, Sasha is from the UK, and Sasha shared her story of, she shared her story of basically her life story, and how she had overcome so much adversity in her life, and there was health issues, and she had the loss of a child. She had lost a child in pregnancy, and then she lost the ability to walk due to an accident at one point. And then she went through all of these trials in her life, and she has come out the other side, and she's using what she's learned to heal herself in order to make herself into a better teacher. I can't say enough how amazing she was to speak to, because for somebody who really could have gone down a much darker path, she really didn't. And she really took everything that she had in her, and she just turned it around and used it for the betterment of herself and for the kids that she works with in school. So it was just truly inspirational. And then our first guest, Lauren, our cousin, came on and spoke with us about the education system, school system, IEPs. My son has an IEP. So it was just very interesting to talk with her through all of that. And then of course, wedding things came up with her, because she is getting married in 2024. So really just, I wanted to highlight the guests because they really brought a whole different perspective to the podcast, and they brought in just so much more that was valuable, and all these voices coming in and these different perspectives, and it just truly, truly was just amazing. And I am incredibly grateful and thankful to them for coming on for season 1. Um, so those are just some of the guest episodes. But I mean, we did cover quite a bit of topics in season 1 as well. We started out strong with, the mom archives, going over hormones, breastfeeding. That was actually one of the highest episode listened to, was our welcome episode, but that I think was because our whole family listened. But then we had another one that came in where we did discuss hormones after pregnancy, breastfeeding, and communications with your partner after you have a child. That's actually one of our highest rated episodes and the most listened to episode. Even to this day, people still go back to it and listen to it. But there's just a lot of great stuff in there that really, I think, would be helpful for everybody. And then, season 2, again, launching in January, will be, um, it'll be very exciting. And then we're also going to be um, rebranding the podcast. So don't worry, we'll still be still Steel Roses, still the same vibe. You're still going to hear the same voices coming in here and really just elevating and supporting each other. But what you'll see is a different look, different feel. And I'm also very excited because we're very close to our merch line coming to life as well, which is very exciting. So just so many good things, so many blessings, and it's just an incredible journey. And I just can't say enough good things about everybody who's been involved at this point, and everybody who um, has really helped to just be part of this with us. So again, like, thank you to all the guests, and I sincerely want to thank all of the listeners that have been following along with the podcast this entire time. Um, without all of you, the podcast would just be voices on airwaves. And because you're listening, and because you maybe will hear something that affects you or affects somebody that you are making this podcast what it is. Because the original goal was always to help other women. And, when we started doing this, um, I had said, even if there's just one person who hears the podcast and then makes a change, or hears the podcast and then knows how to handle talking with somebody or a friend about postpartum depression. All it is that we wanted one person to be helped by this. And the truth of the matter is, we have surpassed just one person listening, and we have cultivated a community here of people listening weekly to our voices and to these topics and to these episodes. And for all of you that are listening across the globe, I am incredibly grateful that you have joined us here and that you found this information helpful and impactful for you. I hope you rejoin us for season 2. Get ready. We have really just a truly amazing lineup, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. In the meantime, you can always circle back to season 1 and re-listen to a couple episodes. Be sure to check out the Jenny minisodes that air every Wednesday. And then sneak peek, there's going to be another special module launching in 2024 that'll be focused around something else that I struggle with on a regular basis. So stay tuned for that. Again, thank you all so much. I hope that you all are having a wonderful holiday season. I hope you take time for yourself. I hope you take time to slow down and enjoy yourself. I hope you take time to sit down and maybe be alone and just enjoy a cup of tea or coffee or something, and really just listen and be mindful and be open, and enjoy your family, enjoy the presence of your friends, your partners, anyone that you're with. Just be grateful and enjoy. And we will see you back here first week of January 2024. Bless you all. Love you guys so much. Thank you for everything.